Isn't this a cool wooden car? My toddler, Ian, he built this. He's 4. I mean, it was clearly out of like a model set, but how this worked was he was kind of sad that I was asleep. I was real sick. I mean, I'm still real sick, but he was kind of sad because, well, Daddy was asleep, so I couldn't get up and play cars with him. So what he decided to do was fashion this car together and another, so that when I woke up from the nap, we could play cars together. Isn't that amazing? I've always believed that every child's a great artist until someone eventually tells them they're not. Hi, my name is Marc. You might know me as the name Marc with a C, because I portrayed a persona named Marc with a C for just over 20 years. Now I've got the name, but you're just seeing regular old gender fluid Marc, not the stage persona. But I'll tell you, I found out that this show needed to happen so that Ongaku Overdrive could connect some dots, and let me just tell you this up front. I don't think I knew that for about 2 seconds before I immediately said to Kent, if you need to do a show, I'm there. And that's a big deal because I don't do many shows pretty much ever now. My health doesn't let me. I can pull off maybe one full-length show a month. But when Ian was born, he was born prematurely and with a birth defect where day 2 wasn't even a promise. But at that moment, I was flipping out. I mean, I'm always flipping out. But I was especially flipping out online. And I was like, I don't know what we're going to do. We don't have anywhere for him to sleep. This was not at all supposed to happen right now. And the people, and I know that some of them are still in this audience, the people that stopped at nothing to clothe and feed Ian, no questions asked. They were people like the fans of Ongaku Overdrive, so there's no fucking way I wasn't going to show up. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Sincerely. I wanted to lead off with that. Now, to keep the chatter to a minimum, but still tell a bit of a story, why don't I tell you, I don't know, some of the framework of my life story. Okay, let's roll. First memory, it's not that interesting. But the second one, is getting sick. I think that one stuck because then I didn't stop getting sick, you know? Sadly. Anyways, let's do a song about it. Little house on the prairie fails to keep my interest. I don't care about Laura Ingalls Wilder. She's not my favorite writer. Anyway, that's Beverly Cleary. But that's what's on around 11 o'clock. And I'm wishing that I didn't have these chicken pox. Then I could do something besides watching this old CRT. And now I'm stuck in bed. What in blazes? I can't wait until I'm not contagious. When I get better, I'm gonna play with my Star Wars guys outside. I'm sick of soap operas in the daytime and always stinking like calamine. And the situation these chicken pox, they ain't no fun. I'm so glad we only get them once. If you scratch them, they just get worse. I wish my body were made out of nerve and everything else. I'm stuck in bed. What in blazes? I can't wait until I'm not contagious. When I get better, I'm gonna play with my Star Wars guys outside. Thanks to how pitiful I look, my mom keeps buying me coloring books. When I get better, I'm gonna play with my Star Wars guys outside. The only relief I ever got came from a bubble bath and a nice warm tub. Mr. Bubble was my best friend. I almost liked him better than my Boba Fett. But no way, I'm stuck in bed. What in blazes? I can't wait until I'm not contagious. When I get better, I'm gonna play with my Star Wars guys outside. Thanks to how pitiful I look, my mom keeps buying me coloring books. When I get better, I'm gonna play with my Star Wars guys outside. That's right. When I get better, I'm gonna play with my Star Wars guys. But then, there was this kid who used to beat me up. A pudgy kid, his name was Chuck. Well, once he had some M&Ms and I asked if we could share them. Instead he kicked me off of my big wheel. I skinned my knee as he rode off with both. And then when I was walking home, a bee stung me on my head. I stopped playing outside that week. Instead, I listened to my Walkman incessantly, and that's the reason I'm a music geek. It never stole a big wheel from me. Back in 6th grade, I always dreaded lunch. I could never find a place to sit and munch. But there was this kid named Bo, and finally, Bo let me sit with him. But then he interrogated me. He found out I had a crush on Tara Weatherby. He told Tara, she told the entire school, and they just pointed and laughed at Marc with a C. Well, I stopped trying to make friends that week. Instead, I listened to my Walkman incessantly, and that's the reason I'm a music geek. It rarely points and laughs at me. Who needs real friends when you can obsess over bands? Who needs human contact when you can hear people sing about it? My 30s and really my 40s. I still got social phobias, but I'm still working hard to get past them. I'm thinking maybe if I went back to in-person shows or got a different record deal or made more, you know what? On second thought, I'll just stay inside with my wife and sing songs for her. 'Cause she's in love with me. And she puts up with my eccentricities, and she's in love with this music geek. She likes me for me. But the story doesn't really end there. In fact, we got way too ahead of ourselves. Let's go backwards, not to right now. No. We're gonna go back to high school. That song didn't really touch high school. High school was a fucking minefield. It's a different minefield for everybody. But in my case, one of the biggest problems was, one, I found out that people wanted to date me. I don't know why. It just never dawned on me that someone else would initiate that kind of thing. And it messed me up for a while. I was like, what? Why are you talking to me? Is this flirting? I don't understand. But also, I learned about the phenomenon of people pretending that they want to be your friend because they want to date you or more. That's not because that necessarily happened to me. I mean, it did, like twice, but that's not that interesting of a story. But in my case, there was somebody I deeply wanted to be friends with, and she was, by all societal constructs, she is what the average person would look at and go, "You are beautiful." And she was. But she was really cool as a person, and I wanted to hang with her, and I knew about her before I knew anything about what she looked like. So when I was trying real hard to be her friend, I came on way too strong. And that was still bothering me by 2008 when I made an album called Linda Lovelace for President. So I put this song on it to try to give myself closure, and that didn't work because some people liked the song, and that means I'm still doing it now. Dear Jessica, I've asked for your number, but please let me explain that I'm not looking to date you. I don't think of you that way. Now sure, you've got nice looks and a clear teenage complexion, but I'm just calling you because of your record collection. Whoa, Jessica, I heard you like the Who. I do too. Jessica, here's what I wanna do. I wanna trade tapes with you. I wanna trade tapes with you. I wanna trade tapes with you. And sure, you're nice to look at, just a regular teenage queen. But I don't wanna get in your pants, just inside your tape machine. Jessica, I heard you like the Who. I do too. Jessica, here's what I wanna do. I wanna trade tapes with you. I wanna trade tapes with you. I wanna trade tapes with you. So that ended up being my personal brand of geekery, nerdery. It was music, and it was basically the only way that I started really understanding other people, or the world, or myself. But they didn't make a lot of songs about what to do if you came on too strong because of it. And I guess I didn't go and write that. Also, I have no plans to write that song, so I just wish you all better luck should you ever try what this song's about if you're still in high... You know, I'm just gonna shut up and finish the song. I'm not asking for a date, I just heard that you got stellar taste. And I'm not asking to be your mate, I want a high-speed dub of your bootleg tapes. You've got the complete vibe that leads, and those import CDs. I don't care about the birds and bees, nor getting to know you biblically. You say you like the violent thems, well I like Jonathan Richman. The Modern Lovers were his first band, but you swear you never heard of them, which means that you have never heard their classic debut. Jessica, I'll copy it for you. I wanna trade tapes with 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 you. needless to say, that didn't work and everybody died. Also, you're alive to hear this, so you know that's bullshit. It just seemed like a funny way to wrap that song up. So then, of course, I made my way into the workaday world because I lived in North America, where, let's say you're in Australia. I learned from the old bass player of the Marc with the C trio, Emmett Dobbin. I learned from him that in America, we basically work to live, which was completely foreign, no pun, to Emmett, who had grown up in Australia. We live to work. Over there, they just work to live. And I'm reminded of it every single time I watch another episode of Bluey with Ian. Like, how do these parents have so much time to, like, chill with the kids? Anyways, so I ended up doing, at first, what we all do if we have a dream, but we need money. I went and I got myself a job, but then I kept trying to hone my craft, my dreams, nights and weekends. The American way. But, that didn't go too well. I mean, it was probably entertaining as fuck to watch. For the bosses, I mean. But for me, not so great. Anyways, I got office jobs. I liked working in the record stores most of the time. I worked in a liquor store once. That was kind of cool. But, when I think back, now, working in an office seems like the most exotic thing in the world. Like, I would go back going, what? This is a check for money. Where are the drink tickets? So, now it seems weirdly exotic. But, once upon a time, I went, you know what? I'm going to quit doing Marc with a C completely. I'm going to go get an office job. So when I thought about it, this song is ultimately what came out of that. I reminded myself what working in an office was like. You tell me how close I've come. This meeting is bullshit. I mean, why am I even here? This ain't even my department. None of this shit affects me. Charles goes on and on about marketing and synergy. Charles always looks like he's sat on his own balls. And Diane got promoted, of course. She's such a suck-up. Enjoy that new laptop, Diane. I saw your husband at the company picnic, and you gotta wake up next to that fucking baboon every day. And whoops! Whew! Thought I forgot to hit mute. This meeting is bullshit. Just let me get back to Pinterest. I made a sweet board of Doctor Who oven mitts, and it got about 100 likes. So maybe I could quit this job to be a Pinterest celebrity, if those things even exist. Okay, Charles is coughing again. Lucy, stop IMing me, I don't care about your poodle. I am so supposed to be work-related, but maybe she's really lonely. Like, what if she's like Diane and she stayed married for the kids? I should be nicer to Lucy. Oh, come on, Lucy, another fucking picture? That's it. Putting all these motherfuckers on blast. I know that Charles is drunk again, for example. And I know all about him and Lucy, so I can report Charles to HR. But the first step to that is I'd have to get over myself, because sometimes I think to myself, and I get like really in my own head about it. I go, really, who woke up one day and went, you know what I'd like to be when I'm a grown-up? I think I would like to protect corporations. But not in a court of law. No, and not even plural corporations. Just one. And who do I want to protect that corporation from? People like me, who got the job just so they could eat and do something with their time. That'll show me. And they go get jobs in human resources. It makes no fucking sense. I guess some people aspire to it. And I could report Charles to them, and maybe they'll do their job. Or, if I do that, Diane will know that I did it. She'll think I'm a snitch, she'll have it out for me. What if I get fired? I can't lose my insurance. What if I get promoted? I can't delegate for shit. I just like doing payroll, keeping my head down and hoping not to be noticed. Let me sneak another sip of what appears to be water. If I'm asked, yes, it's water, and no, you can't smell it. This meeting is bullshit. I've been smiling for about 3 hours. I've been flicking you off at a frame. Oh, was this worth all the student loans? Was this worth missing going out? Was this worth getting up at 6? Was this worth... yes. You have a great day as well. Thanks so much. You too. Bye. That meeting was bullshit. And then I became Marc with a C. Then I stopped portraying the persona of Marc with a C, and you're pretty much caught up. Now I'm on Needle Juice Records. It's cool. It's my favorite record label on the planet, and I get to be on it. Well, way to flatter me. That's awesome. So I hope you're having a good time wherever you are. There's something that I used to do in all the Phase 1 Marc with a C shows. Because we're now in Phase 2, of course. There was something that I did, which was... 3 things to remember about Marc with a C. And I decided I'm going to bring that back, but in a different way. This is just going to be 3 things to remember if you want to remember anything from me playing songs today. 1, despite the fact that I have albums that are released by Needle Juice Records, we have an agreement where I'm DIY. So I am completely independent until the moment I hand a finished something to them, which means I'm broke. That was never a joke. Always been broke. Still probably gonna keep being broke. So if you like what I do, and if you'd like to support more than just word of mouth, telling people about songs of mine that you liked, or streaming songs on Spotify, in case I decide to save up for a second sandwich one day, a really good way that you can do that is you can pick up a record. That really helps. But also, patreon.com/Marc with a C. If you'll head over there, for $5 a month, you get a monthly concert ticket. There's a show kind of like this, except longer, more focused, and different, constantly. Sometimes there's themes. I'd invite you to be there. If you don't like what I'm doing, well, thanks for putting up with it. I'm not for everybody. And don't worry, my show will be over soon. Somebody way more rad is going to be up, I'm sure, soon. So, please just put up with me for a few more minutes. Thanks. Secondly, acquiring enthusiastic consent before sex. Well, honestly, of course, that's fucking mandatory. But most of the time that you acquire consent, it's not even sexual. It's just asking people, hey, can I get that for you? It's better to ask permission than beg forgiveness, I say. And I'm also broadcasting this from, Blue County in Florida, but it's still broadcasting from the dead center of Florida, so I'd like to remind you that not all of us agree with the reasons Florida is famous, more famous right now. I'm one of them. Yes, I'm scared shitless, and I'm going to address that in point number 3, but I'd like to ask that you don't forget that there are people stuck here. Now, here's the bad part. If the motherfucker we're all scared of claws their way any higher, they're basically going to turn the nation into Florida. So everything you think Florida is going to be you too. So there you go. Do you want that? If not, help us stop that motherfucker. But finally, I really genuinely don't give a fuck what the laws have to say about it, because I believe, and I will always believe, that your body and all the choices that surround it will only ever belong to you. Only you. And I guess whoever you assign power of attorney to, if you need to do that. But number 3, sometimes I do this to set up a song, but I'm not really doing that this time. If you've made it this far, if you've ever liked a Marc with a C anything, well, you know how not normal that is. I mean, hey, somehow a documentary was made about me. It premiered at the Cannes, I honestly don't know how you pronounce it. I've been struggling about it, but this thing won best feature for the audience award, and I didn't even get to go. I don't even know if that thing was projected on a screen. I don't know things about it. And that's neat, but that's also because I'm not well. I got real sick right as the Marc with a C persona was retired. I'm not trying to tug on your heartstrings here. It's the truth. But if you've ever liked a Marc with a C anything, you gave me the fuel to get up and try again. I want you to know that. And it also means that you think differently enough to enjoy it, because what I do isn't common. Somehow, a documentary about me wins an award, but that didn't translate immediately into record sales or something. I can tell you that for certain. Sometimes people just want to look at stuff for a while. I don't know if my story is grief porn to people at that film festival. There's no way for me to know. But what I can say for sure is that you think differently. And right now, the fascist motherfuckers are trying to steal your future. So don't let them. Because you think differently, these motherfuckers have already fucked up by banning, burning, doing whatever they're doing to books. They literally think if they just hide the book, you'll go, oh shit, teacher hid the answer key. We're stuck. We'll just have to be fascist too. No, that's not how this works. You think differently, so you get to come up with solutions that save all of us. And I'm counting on you. I'll use my privilege in the best way I possibly can to try to resist. I mean, I'm gonna resist, of course, but I hope you get what I'm saying. Don't let them steal the future from us. This tune is a song that the origins of me writing it, they're a little bit murky. If I told you that whole story, well, there'd be no reason to do that other than to tug on your heartstrings. But what I can tell you about this that isn't super depressing is that I kept coming back to this song while I was working on the album Thanatophobia. It wasn't something that I initially was going to put on that record. But I started seeing it kind of like a rallying cry. It was born of some pretty fucking ugly circumstances. A really traumatic event happened with literal medical abuse. It's disgusting, it's bad, and I don't know if I ever can open up about it, but I can tell you that I got up and put one foot in front of the other because of this song. I wrote it to motivate myself, and it did. So for anybody who needs it, here's a song called You're Gonna Have to Kill Me Before I Lay Down and Die. I'm not dumb enough to let you in. I also didn't know there's a competition. Though you took away more than your money can never buy. You're gonna have to kill me before I'll lay down and die. Some things ought to be said. Projection often paves the way that takes so much functionality, it's barely leaving your eyes. You're gonna have to kill me before I'll lay it down and die. I didn't have this fight in me, and fighting isn't fun, but we can agree that I know myself better than you know most of your lives. You're gonna have to kill me before I'll lay down and die. But why should I lay down at all if I was fairly stand-up from day one? Be careful what you're fighting for, because there's a few battles coming that you'll wish that you never won. And no one ought to have to say this, and no one should ever have to think this, but if it's all that's between you and going towards the fucking light, just say you're gonna have to kill me before I'll lay down and die. Cause if you think you're worth saving, you are. And if you think you aren't worth it, you're wrong. But there's gonna be some people and some places and things to remind. They're gonna have to kill you before you'll lay down and die. Cause if you think I'm gonna give up, you ain't met me. No matter the strength or the nobility, pretend that you're amazing, and you are it many times. Lay your burdens on me until I'm paralyzed. Set up an empath to get the self-esteem that passed you by. Confuse them which feeling's yours and which one's thine. Take the meds and the food that we need to stay alive, just to prove that you want us to stay alive. And reject the evidence of your very own ears. of your ears and eyes. No, you're gonna have to kill me before I lay down and die. So, I won't lay down, I won't lay down and die. I won't lay down, I won't lay down and die. Thanks everybody, I'm Marc. You're fantastic. I really appreciate you. I appreciate Ongaku Overdrive. I appreciate everybody at Team Ongaku. I appreciate everybody for not rolling their eyes when I fucked up a word in that last song. And sincerely, thank you for letting me do this. This will be my last one today. It's the traditional closing song from Marc with a C Phase 2 shows, if they can be longer than 15 minutes, basically. Goes out to all of you. You're welcome to my friendly world anytime. In this friendly, friendly world, where each day's so full of joy, why should any hearts be lonely? In this friendly, friendly world, where each night's so full of dreams, why should any hearts be afraid? The world is such a wonderful place to wander through. If you've got someone you love to wander along with you, there's a sky so full of stars and a river so full of song, and every heart should be so thankful. Thankful for this friendly, friendly world. Thankful for this friendly, friendly world. I thank you for this friendly, friendly world. Thanks so much, everybody. Best wishes to each and every one of you, and thanks to everybody at Team Ongaku. Bye, all.